Let's get that streaming. Doing some coding today. Yes, I know I haven't done anything on the gaming channel. Well, I recorded a couple of things, but I haven't been sick this week, so. Alright, that is way too loud. Let's turn that down. Maybe I'm sorry, fixing audio levels real quick. That's as good as we're gonna get. Okay, what I need is, I need my chat. Chat. Okay, YouTube, go away. To do that, and then I need to put that window there. Right there. Perfect. Yay! Unplug my headphones from that PC, plug them back into that one. Okay, we're good, we're Gucci, I think. We're working on the signal bus today. Yes, I'm stealing that from Godot. Yes, I know it's an event bus. Yes, I know it's going to bug people, but I'm saying signal bus instead of event bus. No, you cannot change my mind, it's my project. Right, capiche? Good. Got it. Alright, now we're going to go down here. I don't know if I wanted the signal that or the common. No, let's keep the common for like integrating like common things. This is a game engine related thing, so let's do this. Add folder. Okay, yeah, real quick, I know for a fact I'm going to need interfaces, and... Well, interfaces, no. And this is going to be a globally set up thing, so we're going to pop that in. Alright, I think we're good. Oh wait, we need a factories folder. We're making factories. I keep my factories in a separate folder because, yeah. We need that and that. Okay, so let's add a new add a new item. Did fix the shared code project thing. Actually, you know what? Quick test. Did they actually fix the shared code project thing? Yeah. Microsoft, fix the shared code project thing. Thank you. Oh, I didn't fix my file templates. This is gonna suck. Let's create an iSignal factory. Yeah, this is not. Okay, hang on. Let me look this up real quick. I need to fix my code templates or I'm going to, like, lose it. And where is this PC? That folder. That folder. No. That folder. Visual Studio. Here. Nope. Microsoft Visual Studio. There we go. No. There is... Oh, it's in program files. Okay. It's not in program files like x86. Templates. Sharp. Aha! Found you, you evilly evil. I found you, you evilly evil evils. Aha! Also over in here real quick. Let's change this one too. And code file. Ooh, code file. Code file is that? What do we got for web class? Not that I'm using it, but I might as well peek. Yes, we're gonna fix that one too. Okay, we're fixing things! Yay! So, first thing we're gonna do is we're going to get rid of that crap. Okay, apparently I can't change that. And I just closed that folder. Okay. Visual Studio 2022 Community. Templates. Sharp. No. Code. You know what? I'm just gonna save. So we're just gonna save that. And let's go. Just because I don't have that. Let's do that. Really? Password interface work. Hang on. Make sure that works. If I just pop it an item. Oh, look at that. That is so much better. I just want one more space there. Hang on, let me just try that again. I wanted one more space there. I needed to add one more space. Add class. Do that in shared project. Signal effect. Okay, no, it's going to be stupid. Fine. Fine, I'll have to put it in. I'll have to manually put the space in there, but it's better than what it was. Yeah, I'll have to manually do that and then RNG that, but because I'm not deleting those, but in case I'm using a project that doesn't have that, but let's just do. Oh, don't think that yet. Not valid. That's valid. Just that there. Yay. Okay, we're good, okay. We're back to Gooch. We're good, everything's fun. Yay. Alright, anyway, Signal Factory, let's do this. I'm going to do private, static. No, we're not. Didn't think. It. All this cache. Structured properly, right? Okay. Public. No. No, I don't have an interface for that yet, but you know what? Let's add that. Add item. It's our brand new interface. I honestly don't bother. I just want to make sure this code book works. Normally I don't even bother. Normally I just change it myself. I come in here and change it when I'm setting up the file. Signal. Parameters. Hey, can you stop trying to guess what I'm trying to do, please? Actually, that is quite literally what I'm trying to do. That is actually quite literally what I'm trying to do, except that needs to be I signal. That is quite literally what I was trying to do with this, following this. Let me just double check that. Anything else wrong with that? Aside from the fact that this is not triggering that. That should have this in front of it, and that should have been complaining. Other than that, are we good? Let's pull that up to the Signal Factory. And I'm just going to add the registrar class right now. That's why I don't change it usually. That is not what I wanted to do. I usually don't change it because then I have to change it back. Okay, let's get our registrar set up for anyone who is not paying attention to this. Service registrar. For anyone who isn't paying attention to how this engine works, this is how we inject things. We just make a file, it gets loaded, everyone's happy. Alright, yeah, except we're not doing that. No, we're not globally doing that. Okay. Builder. Right. I have not done a register for me. There is something I've done things with things already. Just to take keyed name as okay. Keyed. Do keyed because if say you want to override my signal factor with yours. When the game is initializing, you register yours under this key. It does that anyway as. And we want that to be a single instance because this is the global event bus. We do not want that. We do not want that being done like multiple times. Okay. So now the game engine will pull this in. If something needs to make signals, it'll pull this in, and it'll pull that in. I will have AI document this later. I'll be honest, I usually have the AI generate the code document. So yeah, just do that, do that, do that. Okay. That's the signal factory done. I'm gonna slide this over here. Alright, and now we're going to work to the handler in Boca. Oh. Signal. You know what? I am not typing that out. Chrome, come here. Copy. Not Chrome. Opera, come here. Copy, paste. Interface. BlueStat, RG, add. Oh, this has async. Nice. Task. Invoke. Invoke async. Signal. Signal. Okay. Object. Art. And also, I want to forward addition to it, so let's do that. I don't like it when people do async coding and then. What is wrong? Okay, isolation to class also. No, we don't. Can't remember off the top of my head how to do that right now, and I can't be bothered to figure it out. Now, also for the record, even when I'm reading how to do something, I always type it myself. It's better learning that. Let's add a new item. Call it that. Would you believe we're going to use that I signal handle when we're going to use I signal? you believe we're going to use that thing we just made? Okay. That interface. Protected read-only list. Kiss me. This delegate. Yes. Also, yes, like I said, I am stealing Godot's language format. The async task. Good for you. You managed to figure the first part out. So, you also didn't figure out the part that I use explicitly. Parameter. Yes, you figured that out. Cool. I'm having fun. I'm having fun being condescending with the AI. I mean, it is figuring out some of what I'm actually trying to do, which is cool, because then I can just tab complete it, but... Okay, let's do is typed equals parameters length equals 1 and yeah, okay, maybe we do that one, but we'll see if it breaks it miserably, but if it doesn't. Oh, wait. Type of task. It's assignable from each one. Okay. Now we'll do if is type else bracket. I have to see it. Rather than just scroll down, you have to see it. If is async. Okay, except that is not what I need. I needed that, but I needed like not those. Hang on. Oh wait. Brackets. Single. Why do we not have? Oh, because I missed something up on the top of it. This is why we don't just copy paste code. T-signal task requesting that. No, wait. That. There, we're doing that. Info teasing. Yeah, we're doing that, okay. I don't know what the AI originally thought was better, but anyway. Right, and then here, we're going to action signal that. Basically, what this is done for is I'm reading a thing for dual things. So, like, we could either do. We could have. It's like we can have this, and then we can have it's like we could either have it like that. Also, I spelled worked. It's like we can either have it pass it in like that, or we can have. Like that. It's like, well, obviously it would need other things. Like we can either do like the Godot route, or we can pass the actual object in. Why it has the baked code above. Like that's what this is checking. So like, it'll check. Anyway, that's for the type thing. So like, if there's exactly one parameter, it wants the actual like record object. It's we're not taking in the parameters individually. So I'm offering both because I like both, because sometimes I might want the actual like big ass event. Sometimes I might have a thing that has like 30 arguments for some dumb reason, and I don't want to type all those in manually. Anyway. I'm just going to populate that because it's got it partially, right? So, I just realized the name violation I did there. I don't know why my IntelliSense wasn't screaming at me, but. Wait. Task. Page done. Invoke verbs. No, nothing. Right now. Fine. Do that. I actually don't care if that's done. Okay. So now if I just do this and fix all my spacings. How is that done? Except we need. Oh. Why do we not have those in there? What? It kind of defeats the purpose of having them if you don't use them in the interface. So I will check our work when we're reading tutorials on random websites. Freaking bad. Defeats the purpose of having public functions if you don't declare them on the interface, because we're taking this into classes, not this. Alright, good news. That's done. Bad news, now we program the actual signal bus. Add new interface. Alright. Fun. Item. All right. Protected read only. So, new collection expression, thank you. Okay, let's do the first function. Public void hub. Except for not calling it subscribers, stealing Godot's language. Connect. Signal. Let's just pop that in and I'll just double check AI's work. No, not what I wanted. Do a lot. Okay, fire, filter, equals. Okay, can you stop for 2 seconds? First of all, need the this keyword. Second of all, new line. Undo. Okay, this invokers, get at, this invokers, get at, save that. Square need that. Okay, that's work. Then what we need to do is we need to change that to an explicit type first of all. Second of all, we need to put that on the new line. Because when I skip, I've got my thing zoomed in so you guys can see, but like when I do that, that would still be like that. Well, not that bad. Yeah, that would still be that long. I try to keep it around here. I know it doesn't matter, but it matters for me. I like to be able to read my code. Anyway, this dot validate. Why are we doing that after we? Oh, because okay, hang on. Let's do the function down here then. Okay, private. Okay, except you are not working. Stop. Work. Oh, well, we're not doing that. We're doing hard type that because what we're going to do is we're going to go down here, throw new valid operation exception. How are we doing? No, I am not copying this whole error message code. I'm not typing this So there it is. And I will. Okay, so we have the constructor. And we do parameter info. Let's just do that. Parameter info. You were right the first time, AI. Can you please bring it back? Thank you. Okay. I think that's right. Yes. Okay, so get the parameters of the constructor, get the parameters of that. Okay. And we're gonna have here if. Let me make this a Boolean. Okay, so we're going to do if handler parameters length. No. What I wanted. 1 and parameters 0. Height of signal. Okay, so this obviously we don't need to check all the parameters if it's the initial one where we, like I said, we pass the actual signal through. We don't actually need. In that case, we don't actually need the. We don't actually need the shenanigans at that point, like the rest of the code, because if we're passing in the actual signal type and then taking that as our, like if I was doing. I know you can't pass my signal, but if I was doing that, we obviously don't need to check that because the signal will have the correct parameters. Alright, anyway. Now we do the fun part. First, we're just going to end return false then. If this other condition doesn't, if either of these two checks don't happen, we don't bother. If signal parameters length is not the same as that, not done yet, or we cannot signal parameters select the parameter type sequence equal select that. Yes, there you go. Now we're good. Okay, so basically, what this fun little bit of code is, first of all, if the signal is expecting 3 parameters and you give it 2, it's going to tell you to go away. If it's expecting a string int float and you give it a float int string, it's going to tell you to go away. This allows me to pass either the object itself or we can do shenanigans. Anyway. Also, we're going to invert this because we're checking for negatives there. So I want this to throw. I do want this to throw word. Throw word argument. Exception. I am not copying this. I am just going to take this. But I'm just going to copy this big-ass argument because I am not typing this out yet. I just need to change it because I made it a little more readable. Okay, that is the validation logic. So now what we're going to do, we're gonna grab this shit and try catch bus. Try catch exception. Okay, except you're not. Put this back. What we're gonna do if this validate that. Except no. Okay, and then what we're going to do here is we're going to do I logger I signal bus. Logger. Plus that. Here we're just going to catch it. Logger, log. Thank you, AI. We're gonna let it gracefully exit, but I do want the error to get caught. Basically, I need this for debugging. Like, people need this for debugging in case they screw up their code or something changes or whatnot. But we also don't want to crash the game because the signal didn't fire. It just means the signal won't fire, which will probably break other game logic. But this is just the event bus. We are not going like ham crazy. Yay. Anyway. So now that we've done this, we just do invoker, add handler. Now handler that. Now this used to be, because this didn't used to be graceful, like how this. They originally had this in between these two lines, and if it failed, it would hard crash. Because I have rejigified it, we'll just do that instead. Right. Anyway. Step 1 done. Step 2. Virtual void disconnect that. Slight issue. But I'm just gonna copy past this code. Needed. This brokers, because this is literally just a dictionary check remove. Also, actually no, that's not what I want. Undo. Yes, I realized my mistake. There. What do you mean it's already defined? I mean, you know what? That. So yeah, this is the disconnecting is easier. We don't need to validate anything, so there's nothing to catch. We just try and get it. So if we, first of all, it checks to see if we even have the thing for that signal. If nothing's been connected, we obviously don't need to do anything. And then we get the invoker, we disconnect it. Cool. Now we do the fun part, the emissions. We're going to do the async one first. Public async ask emit. Async. Type the word async. Everything that's async ends in the words async. Okay. Signal. know what? Fine, just finish that for me. Oh, for the love of God. I get value. Why are you doing? So you know what? Yeah, we don't actually need that. Discard. Nope, that's not actually. I need to actually defend the type there. Can I just pass the floor and discard it? I don't think yet. No, I need the outer face. We don't actually care. Actually, yes, we do. Which is why we keep reading before we start tweaking. We actually do need that. So if we don't get it, return. Otherwise, var signal equals. Ah, see, this is where dependency injection is a thing. My signal factory. Signal factory. Protected. Read only. Nice. To be fair, what they did in this tutorial originally is they had this as a static. I'm not doing that. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Also, close for cigar. Alright, create signal, and then wait. Invoker.invoke. Sync that. Cool. We can now emit signals asynchronously. Neat. Now, for the emissions code, for the normal signal emissions, we just do that. Except we're not doing any of that. Instead, what we're just going to do is we're going to do this to limit async. We're just going to do that. We're just going to make the async code not async. I think that is the signal bus done and dusted. Let me just do one final check of the thing. Emit async, and then we already did this. Okay, that looks all good. Now, last part, actually, before I go too crazy. We need that. You know what? Put the public to us. And connect to some. Okay, that's actually good. Now, we need to go away. I think that's just there because it has to be for the records. Okay, anyway, let's add this. Okay, except we're going to not do that. We're going to signal bus feed. So we can reset that reference. Also, I made a mistake. This here does not need to be a single instance. That needs to be scoped. Scoped, transient, whatever. Either or. Yes, I know there's a difference. No, I don't care. It's a game. So, the signal bus needs to be static. The signal factory does not need to be static. Alright, and just to test... Oh. Okay, so what I want to add, I'm pretty sure that's everything. Yeah, okay, that's that. What's... actually make some signals. Public record signal connected. Record. Okay, I'm not sure if this is going to create a feed. I'm worried about an infinite feedback. Okay, yes, that's going to be a problem. We need to emit these, but like, so like when I add this signal emitted code, we're gonna need to make some... Yeah, we're going to need to make a private. Let me just make a protected version of this. Going to do this, and then we're gonna have... It's basically the same code, except we're not going to do the shenanigans here. It's like... Okay, so the problem is, if I just did this... If I just did that, it would break. Specifically that. If I did this, if I did that, it's going to go here and then go back up here. Go back. So what we need to do is for this, and I will make a better name for it. And so what we need to do when we're emitting signals inside the signal bus, we need to use this internal one, which does not fire off the "hey, this signal just got emitted" code. So we don't want to fire off signal emitted async. Also, you know what? Maybe I am going to not. Maybe I'm going to do this instead. Maybe I am going to hardcode this because I don't want to actually. Maybe we just discard that. Yeah, okay. Discard that. You know what? So let's change this. We're going to call that emit signal. Okay. Then we're going to get rid of this. We're just going to combine them. I will, on the handler, maybe figure it out. Actually, it doesn't matter. Does it really matter? No, I'm overcomplicating. This time is so. I'm gonna leave those long because it doesn't matter. And then this time sync. You. Okay, so now we can actually hook into the signal bus doing stuff. Obviously not on the first connect. Actually, maybe that actually might work on the first. Conspiracy theories. Okay, so now that we've added that, let's do some shenanigan testing here. Configuration registrar, interface. Signal bus. Get that signal bus. Connect. I forget, can you pass log? Oh no, I can just get the logger directly from him. My logger. Yeah, we can just do that. I was gonna say, how do we get the logger in this again? But we literally have the logger factory. Okay, anyway. This bus. Why is that complaining? No. I want that one. Connect. Signal bus. No connected. Except we don't need that. You know what, actually, I'm just gonna do it this way. What do we need for this? We need signal type delegate handler. Protected. Virtual. Void. Signal. I'm also gonna fix these in a second here. I'm gonna fix these. I need this. I need this. Hi. Hi. No, that won't work. Okay, never mind. Yeah, okay, type. Aha! We have shenanigans. Except not really. Simplify that a little bit. What is this one? Russian body? Sure, why not? Just do that. Okay, that has the same things. We just do that. And this one is going to be the more fun one. No, I want lowercase. Oh look, the AI learned how to write signals. Okay, so this, so we want this to be deep. This is all debug. Also, I need a way to get, I'd only want these if we're in development. Configuration. Okay, so I only want to load this if we're doing that. So how do I get the environment? Do I have an environment? I've done environment coding before, I just can't remember what I would have done it. Alright, hold up. I'm gonna run this. I'm not gonna fully run it yet. Gonna hit that break point, so just check me. Yes. Hang on, I need to check. Do we have an environment? Probably shouldn't be streaming this with. Okay. No. I need to check something. So what we're going to do is, I got the variable I'm looking for. So if you now, actually no, this is strip. That so I don't want debugs in production, so we're going to say if we're in the production environment, don't do any of this crap with the signal nodes. So yeah, if we're in the production environment, we don't want to do any of this. Otherwise, we want to. Also, I want to. How do we handle that? That's going to... I'm pretty sure that's about to do something weird, but... Basically, we can't... Basically, the signal connected and the signal emitted events won't fire right. Okay, hang on, let me just... Also, I'm pretty sure that did that. Hang on, let me. How do I set temporary environment variables? You. Properties. Like, I want the actual window. Build. And oh, okay, that's fun. Okay. No magical interactors. Okay, well that didn't work. Type delegate. Type delegate. Oh, that needs to be I signal. Oh, I need that too. Why did that say there was no constructor? Let me fix these. No, that's actually correct. Okay, never mind. Why is that not working? Type delegate handler, yes. Type delegate handler. Yes, those match. System type, system delegate, system type, system delegate. Okay, that matches. Next. Did I screw up my logic? Length equals 2, length equals 2. Types, type, delegate, delegate. Very true. Okay, X. Is that emitting errors? The signal emitted thing is signal emitted one. It's crashing here. I know the signal emitted thing is breaking, but this is not working for some reason. Why is that not working? It's passing the validation. Okay, hang on. Okay, so we're actually... Okay, so we should only actually have... Did I mess this up here? Why is that no? That would be the problem. We're passing signal disconnected in on. Wait, no, that's right. Why are we passing that in? Okay, well, I obviously know where this is going wrong. Okay, first things first. First of all, let's fix this. So that should fix that one connector not working. No matching constructor, no matching constructor. Why do we have no matching? Oh, things are being dumb and I don't like it. It should work. Why is this not working? Hang on, I need to... Yeah, it's diagnostics. Hold on. Signal type that. I need to check something. Okay. First of all, are we even figuring out the constructors? Like, what is wrong here? We're not getting, like, it's not finding the constructor for some reason. System delegate. Okay, system.type, system.type. What are we looking for? Arbs. I need to check this too. Hang on. Debugging. Okay, let's check this then. Ah, see, that's a problem. We're getting runtime type and signal connected here, which is not what we want. I'm gonna dirty hack it real quick. It's a record. There's only one. It's a record. There's only one. I'm gonna dirty hack it and see if that fixes it. I know I'm not sharing my whole screen, but so you guys can see what I'm debugging. Like you can't actually see what I'm. No, that did not like that at all. Hold on. Now that's actually telling me something here. Object type of blah 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 cannot be converted to system.delegate. Where? What? It's saying this can't be converted to a delegate, but we shouldn't. What? Signal type delegate handle. It shouldn't be passing that in that way. It's erroring here. Also, welcome to debugging. How can we help you? Okay, it's crashing here. Why are we passing in here? Signal connected and that's the problem. Wait, hold up. Did I screw this up? No, hang on, that can't be. Follow me! That, I want this. Alright, I had an alarm set. I forgot I had an alarm set. Yeah, let's try this. These are wrong. Okay, so let's try that instead. It might just be the... No, why is it... Signal bus. No, it's... Why is it passing? I shouldn't be passing. Okay, well, first of all, slight problem. Failed connector alerts a signal no matter dog that is most welcome. That's... Ah, okay, see, that's where we're screwing up. And that wasn't my fault, that was the AI's fault. This is why we double check the shit the AI writes. That, okay, in my defense, I also looked at that and it looked correct. It was not correct. Okay, that should be working now. I can't blame the computer on that completely. That was my overlook. Okay. Signal connected, signal connected, signal connected. Okay, so now if I create a random... If I just go into... Where's my game loop? Where's my game loop? My game loop... Oh, screw it. I'll just hook into here. Let's just add a random record. Protected record. No, public record. Public record. Write batch. Begin test. String message. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Game time. Game. No, we don't actually have that. Okay. Never mind. Let's not do it in this very batch. I need something I can hook into that draws. One of these things. I did not mean to do that. Go away. Did I mess that up? No. Cool. I did not mean to pop that game data file open. I don't think I have anything that actually draws. Ah, here, you know what? We can hook him here. Well, let's actually do this. I'm going to switch this to a block body. I'm going to do protected. No, we're not. Public record. Graphic. Game time. And here we're just going to do. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to also hook in. I'm going to revert this code. This is just testing it, but oh, I don't have the signal bus. Let's grab the signal bus. Signal bus. Signal bus. Read only. Read only. I need a signal bus. Yay. This signal bus up. Connect. That. This. On that. Yeah, we'll just do that. But we're not doing that. I mean, we could do that. We're not. I don't have a logger. I need a logger. Okay. Again, I'm reverting this as soon as I'm done testing it. My logger. My graphics device service. Logger. That. Let's go with that. Okay, so if I did this correctly, we should have just added a new hook. And it is quite literally this simple. I could have just passed the actual thing in too, but... Okay, that is going, except for the fact that it's not going because we're not actually emitting it. We need to actually call the emit. Connected. It connected, I just forgot to put the actual emission call. Oops. Well, it turns out when you make events, it helps if you actually fire them. Okay, I'm going to pop up OBS here just so you guys can see the magic happening. Click on my display capture. Again, apologize for the flickering. Hang on, I'm going to stop that. But yeah, we have events. And it's updating multiple times a sec, like it just updated properly. Yeah, I just ran that for like 10 seconds, so that's what my console was looking like. So like, this stuff here will not appear when we're not in debug mode. In fact, I will probably just hard code that. Probably just going to put that in a debug tag. Because yeah, so like if I switch this to the production environment and rerun it, we shouldn't see. Well, we'll see the debug stuff, but we shouldn't see this. We should see this thing, but we shouldn't see the signal emitted. So yeah, we're not seeing signal emitted anymore. I wanna tie that into like this though, so anyway. Now, real quick, I'm going to switch that off. Actually, maybe that is better. Because that's an environment variable. I don't want a hardcode environment variables too, though. Because that's only launch args too. Like if I switch this to release and then go development, we should still see it. Now, the problem is the release build is not going to show logging because the production environment config file is set to not show debug events, but you get what I mean. Well, I don't even get a console. I don't even get a console, but yeah, okay. Anyway. Yeah, the launch settings thing, I should have set that up earlier. So now I can actually simulate being on a... Yeah, you know what? That's actually better. I actually enjoy that. Okay, anyway. How long did that take us? Well, that took over 2 hours. Congratulations, we now have signals. Okay, first of all, graphics device service, we're going to discard all those changes. And then... I will do the documentation later. Okay, so this should be good now. This should be good now. And then... Okay, this I want to revert back to this. I figured out what I was doing wrong. It wasn't this, so let's just put this back. There we go. If I just put this back and test it real quick. So you can literally just hook signals like this, like inline like this. Nice. So like anything like on an initialize function, you can just do that. I mean, I don't like the look of it, but it's better than what I had. Yeah, it's showing configure services B __0 __100. Okay, yeah, so it's not really pretty, but yeah, I'm gonna start doing this here. So now with the signals, I can start hooking signals into the rest of the engine. Because now, as like the first thing we're going to do in the end, like I'm going to implement this in the engine in like 2 seconds. The first thing we're going to do in the engine, we're going to initialize the signal bus, and it's going to stay initialized. Yeah, so that's a thing. Anyway, I am getting dizzy. I'm going to commit this. I will work on like optimizations and stuff off screen or something. I don't know. I need to stop coding. Also, I need to stop looking at the big text. Alarms are going off. This is the one I actually have to pay attention to. So yes, I need to go. The earlier alarm was the hey, 15 minutes. That is the hey, get your butt doing what you're supposed to be doing. Anyway, we now have a signal bus. We can now do signals. So now, what I can do is, for example, in this thing, where we're reading all this stuff here, I can turn this into a function instead of being on construct, which we're still going to want. But I can create a signal, like once I install it into the configuration system. Obviously, we don't have it, but like I can do. Let's go do that. Like we can do this. We can connect the event. I'm not going to do that right now though because my head hurts and I'm kind of bleh from what we just did. But we have a signal bus. Yay! We have a global signal bus. Now, here's the thing. For anyone who's worrying about entities and stuff, we're going to have global events. Yes, but what we're going to do is, like, when we're doing an instance thing with an entity, we're going to pass it in. So, like, when a player's health, when an entity's health changes, we'll do on entity health changed, and we'll pass the entity in. We're trying to do decentralized systems, which is like the opposite of what some people are used to, where the entity will update itself. No, we're gonna have a system that updates the entity's health, and then yeah, like the combat system will do that, and then it'll fire the event. Like the entities are basically just data. Entities are just data and/or maybe some slight internal logic components, but like stuff like rendering, combat, all that's gonna be on the engine level, like systems. There we go, that's the word. Anyway, my brain is starting to unbrain. So, hope everyone enjoyed. We have a signal bus. Had a bit of a debug session because I'm a Dumas and was passing the wrong thing into the wrong thing. But it works now. Anyway, I'm gonna go clean up all of the code and stuff, and I've already committed it to the GitHub repo and pushed it, so if anyone wants to steal it, feel free. Anyway, hope everyone enjoyed. I will see you all next time. I've got stuff to go do.